What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. In the last episode, we made it here to the Pokemon League and battled Barry for what may be the very last time in this Let's Play. Today, we're going to be taking on the Pokemon League Challenge, but before we do that, I need to give you guys the rundown on the team situation and where everybody is at. So, I said in the last episode that I was going to give it a very honest try. I was going to go into the Elite Four, battle them with my team where they were at level-wise, and try to win that way. And I'll just say right now, and I'm going to put this very kindly, it didn't go very well. I couldn't even get past the fourth member of the Elite Four, let alone the champion, who is already a gigantic difficulty spike over the rest of the Elite Four, if you know how Sinnoh works. So, yeah, that was not happening. So I decided to reevaluate, and what I did instead was basically just add 5 levels to everyone on the team beyond where they were already at. So originally, I had given Drifblim most of the focus because she was all the way down at level 45, bumped her up 5 levels to be in line with everyone else, and then I kind of just pushed everyone else over the finish line so that they all went up 1 more level. And then from there, I planned to just use my rare candies, but again, didn't go well. So then I just added 5 levels to everyone beyond that, and now we can spend all of those rare candies. I also switched some hold items around, and I also want to use these PP ups as well before we go inside. But let's start spending these rare candies. Now, I've given Triton the Quick Claw because unlike Gong Gong, who is the other slowest member of our team, Triton doesn't actually benefit from going last, so don't want that. And then I also gave a King's Rock to Helena, who, while she's not the fastest member of our team, she is still speedy enough that she should be able to take advantage of it a lot. Era got the Razor Claw, which should give her a little bit of a bump with some extra critical hits, which she could definitely use. And then finally, I gave Gong Gong the Soft Sand, because I want Earthquake to be a bit more relevant in some of these fights than it has been. He doesn't really need help with Flash Cannon and Psychic, so yeah, I figured that was the best course of action. Okay, I am going to bump up a few moves here. I'm going to mainly focus on all of the low usage moves here. So I'm going to give Stone Edge a boost, Blizzard a boost, and then I'm also going to give it to Close Combat. But okay, everyone is ready to go. Everyone has their moves exactly where... I mean, I haven't changed the moves at all. They had some opportunities to learn some things, like Gong Gong was going to learn Feint Attack at level 50, and Era was going to learn Explosion at level 51. There was like one other in there as well. None of them were moves worth learning, so I didn't even bother. So they all have the exact same move sets as what they had in the last episode. But now it is time, so let's head on inside. Let me confirm that you are qualified to challenge the Pokemon League. So, let us examine the gym badges you gathered from Sinnoh. Oreburgh City's Coal Badge, Eterna City's Forest Badge, Hearthome City's Relic Badge, Veilstone City's Cobble Badge, Pastoria City's Fen Badge, Candleape City's Mine Badge, Snowpoint City's Icicle Badge, and Sunny Shore City's Beacon Badge. Very well, trainer, you've indeed collected all the gym badges of Sinnoh. Demonstrate the power that brought you here and go for glory. Let's do this thing. So you can see already that I have Triton out in front, and there is a very good reason for that. That will be made even more apparent once the fight actually begins. But let's jump on into this thing. Hello, welcome to the Pokemon League. I'm Aaron of the Elite Four. It's good to meet you. Oh, I should explain. I'm a huge fan of bug Pokemon. Bug Pokemon are nasty mean, and yet they're beautiful too. Would you like to know why I take on challengers here? It's because I want to become perfect, just like my bug Pokemon. Okay, let me take you on. And so begins our battle against Aaron, the bug-type specialist, and in my opinion, one of the least memorable members of any Elite Four ever. He looks like a frickin' early 2010s influencer. I know. I feel like that's mean because that's more of a hindsight thing, and Aaron was definitely created before that culture was around, but yeah. I don't know. I've never really liked his design. Anyway, I do like his Pokemon, though, because he's got some really cool bug types. This first one is Yanmega, the bug and flying type Pokemon with the ability Speed Boost. It's got the moves Bug Buzz, Air Slash, U-Turn, and Double Team. And Stone Edging right through that Double Team is what we needed to get this ball rolling, because otherwise this thing was absolutely going to be using U-Turn until it was the last one left. Speed Boost is the most annoying thing about it, because every single turn its speed raises by 1 stage until it is maxed out, and obviously that is not a very good thing. Not that I would be going faster than Yanmega in most instances anyway, but that ability makes sure that Yanmega is always going first. It is kind of a glass cannon, though, which is why it's going to go down to moves like that super easily. All right, Heracross, the bug and fighting type Pokemon with the ability Swarm. It has Close Combat, Mega Horn, Stone Edge, and Night Slash. If we can just hit it with a Fly, which I just missed, wow. Era, that was not the time to do that. My goodness, please survive this. She might not. I think she's going down. Oh, barely. Yeah, because Fly's got, what, 95% accuracy? I think it's the first time I've ever seen her miss it. Oh my goodness. Well, let's try to finish this Heracross off here now. I mean, if this doesn't, I could always use Psychic on my Bronzong or something, but oof, that was kind of embarrassing. But yeah, anyway, took it down pretty easily with the quad damage. But yeah, this thing still hits pretty darn hard and is something to watch out for. All right. Hey, did you know that Aaron, is kind of a liar because he doesn't actually have all bug-type Pokemon. He's also got this freak right here, Drapion, the poison and dark-type Pokemon with the ability Battle Armor, which prevents critical hits in all cases. It has the held item Citrus Berry, and it's got Cross Poison, X-Scissor, Aerial Ace, and Ice Fang. Luckily, though, because it doesn't get stab damage, X-Scissor is not all that threatening. In fact, the only really scary move this thing has is Cross Poison, but because I am using a Steel type here, that is entirely useless, so it's not going to even bother. And this is one of the main reasons I wanted Gong to hold the Soft Sand, so that it can take down Drapion very, very easily. But yeah, he's a liar, because this ain't even a bug type. Like, I get it, Skorupi, it's pre-Evo, was technically a bug type, and it only lost it when it evolved, but still, I mean, I don't know, man. You're not being very consistent. This is like Lance with Gyarados levels of misleading me, I guess. But whatever. 3 down, 2 to go. On to the next one, and that is going to be Scizor, the bug and steel type Pokemon, also with the ability Swarm. This thing has Iron Head, X-Scissor, Night Slash, and Quick Attack. 3 moves that are going to be not very effective on Gyoja, and the 4th move is, well, very, very weak. So, yeah, not too worried about throwing out this Fire Punch here. This is probably going to one-shot it anyway, even with its stellar physical defense. So down it goes, and there we go. Not bad at all. All right. Gyoja gets some good experience, and I'm actually going to, well, should I? Yeah, I'm going to keep Gyoja out for this, actually. All right, last Pokemon is Vespiquen it's a bug and flying type Pokemon with the ability Pressure. I don't know why I wanted to say the ability first so badly. It has Attack Order, Defend Order, Heal Order, and Power Gem. Those first 3 moves are all entirely unique to Vespiquen. Attack Order has a base power of 90 and is just a physical, or I think actually it's a special bug type attack. Defend Order raises both defense and special defense by 1 stage. Heal Order is basically recovery, 50% health gained upon usage. And then it has this, Power Gem, which is the only thing that I felt was going to do at least a little bit of damage, but at least our fighting type sort of negates it. So he's going to start using full restores, of which I think every Elite Four member has 2, if I'm not mistaken. But the champion usually has 4, so that's something to keep in mind. But we can just knock this Vespiquen out, see if he uses it again here. No, did not. Wow. Well, I'm just going to Poison Jab you and say goodbye, because that is it for Aaron's Pokemon. We'll definitely do some healing between this one and the next one, but yeah, pretty darn simple. Okay, hope you realize what you're up against in the Pokemon League. Battling is a deep and complex affair, and we got some good money out of that. I lost with the most beautiful and toughest of the bug Pokemon. We lost because I wasn't good enough. That's it. Back to training camp. Let's hear it for me. No, that was wrong. Anyway, go on to the next room. 3 trainers are waiting for you. They're all tougher than me. You know, I appreciate the fact that he was arrogant, completely unintentionally, and then actually walked it back with some humility. Very admirable trait. All right, I'm going to heal up my entire team, so give me a second. Okay, and for the record, I actually haven't bought any items between episodes. It's exactly the same items that we had when I left. Not even potions. I haven't used a single one. I decided to leave everything exactly like that. So we have, like, what, 29 full restores, a handful of full heals and lava cookies. We got, like, 9 revives, plus some max revives and revival herbs and whatnot. I feel like that's more than good enough to make it through the Elite Four here. But let's talk to you. Well, you're quite the adorable trainer, but you've also got a spine. Ahaha, I'm Bertha. I have a preference for ground-type Pokemon. Well, would you show this old lady how much you've learned? And so begins the battle against the ground type specialist Bertha, who is going to begin with a Pokemon that it totally makes sense why I'm going to be starting with Helena here, because it is Whiscash, the water and ground type Pokemon with the ability Oblivious, which prevents it from being confused. It has Earth Power, Sandstorm, Zen Headbutt, and Aqua Tail. And guess what I'm going to do here? That's right, we're going to hit it with the Petal Dance, but I'm going to be immediately swapping after this because I know what Pokemon she's sending out next. She's only got one Pokemon that is here explicitly to counter grass types, and I'm sure that's what's coming out after this one. So Whiscash goes down really easily with the quad weakness, and there it is, Gliscor. Okay, for this one we are going to be switching back on over to Triton. Gliscor is a ground and flying type Pokemon with the moves Earthquake, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, and Thunder Fang. Honestly, Geist would have been just as useful here, but I feel like the Ice Beam should be more than enough to knock this thing out. Has the ability Hyper Cutter, which prevents its attack stat from being lowered under any circumstances. So you can't even do it with Intimidate or whatnot. Nothing is going to lower this thing's physical attack, so it's always at least doing the most amount of damage it possibly can. I love this Pokemon so very much, but obviously not using it. Wish I was, though, but it does have that quad weakness to ice, which does hurt quite a bit. So there we go. And on to the next one, which is Hippowdon. And I think I'm actually going to keep Triton out for this one because of its ability. Hippowdon is just a pure ground type Pokemon with the ability Sandstream that is going to whip up a Sandstorm that shouldn't damage Triton because Triton's a ground type. It has Earthquake, Crunch, Stone Edge, and Yawn. And honestly, I think that Yawn is the only thing that might make me force switch here, because I really don't want to deal with Triton falling asleep, and there are definitely other options that I can use for the rest of her Pokemon. Come on. Oh my gosh, it was so close. And there's that Yawn. Okay, we're just going to deal with it. Sandstorm rages. Yeah. I am just going to handle this, and then, ooh, full restore. Okay, that's annoying. Well, actually, I think I'm going to end up fighting through this then. But I can handle crunches and earthquakes, I think. Probably. Definitely stone edges, but we will obviously see. Come on, all the way. You've got to be kidding me. Like, I get it. It was supposed to be around the same damage, but I really wanted to see that thing faint. Okay, here we go. Fell asleep. That's fine. We're going to now use... I have no awakening, so I'm just going to use a full heal here. And then we're going to just bear with whatever damage comes next. Gosh, Triton, if only you could one-shot this thing, but its defenses are just a little too good. Oh boy, here comes an earthquake. Okay, hang in there, buddy. Should bring you down to what, like 70-ish, 60? Oh my gosh, that was a lot more damage than I was expecting. Okay, let's finish this thing off with the Surf again. And then we can talk about her one of her last two Pokemon. So here we go. Next up is going to be... Oh, come on. More Sandstorm nonsense. Golem, the rock and ground type Pokemon with the ability Rock Head, which I believe prevents it from taking recoil damage. This thing has Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Earthquake, and Sandstorm. And for this Pokemon, I think I am going to toss out a Petal Dance again because I'm going to want to keep that Petal Dance going also for her last Pokemon. So let's hit you with that damage real quick. Come on. I mean, this should be a one-shot, no question. Golem does not have very good special defense, but down it goes. And last but certainly not least, in fact, her most signature Pokemon is, in fact, wait for it, Rhyperior, the ground and rock type Pokemon with the ability Lightning Rod, which attracts all electric attacks on the battlefield its way. And because it's a ground type, it obviously resists those. It's got the Citrus Berry, it's got Avalanche, Mega Horn, Earthquake, and Rock Wrecker. And Avalanche can be kind of no joke, which is why we want to make sure this Petal Dance knocks this Rhyperior out. As it did, good for Helena, and down goes Bertha. Well, dear child, I must say that was most impressive. Your Pokemon believed in you and did their best to earn you the win. Even though I've lost, I find myself with this silly grin. Wow, that was an unintentional rhyme, I'm assuming? You're quite something, youngster. I like how you and your Pokemon earned the win by working as one. That's what makes you so strong. I think that you can go as far as you want. Well, I'm glad that you think so, Bertha, but before we go any further, actually, I was going to say something else, but no, we're good. Before we go any further, I'm going to top everybody off, and then we are going to prepare for the next fight, probably with... Let me actually take a look here. Shoot. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up putting Triton back at the front again for this one as well, because he is going to make the most sense for this fight. But there we go. All right, let's head on inside. And let's talk to a familiar face. Remember this guy? It's Flint. Yo, trainer, you had me counting the days on my fingers waiting for you to come. Heard from Vulcan what you did in Sunny Shore. You managed to light a fire in that guy's heart again. How could you not expect me to look forward to seeing you in battle? You're facing a fire-type Pokemon user with me. Let Flint see how hot your spirit burns. And so begins the battle against the fire-type specialist, Flint. And his very first Pokemon is going to be one of the most crucial ones to knock out early, and that is Houndoom. Houndoom is a Dark and Fire-type Pokemon with the ability Early Bird, which actually, I think that just means that they wake up from sleep faster? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so, okay, that's what it is. It's the number of turns that it's asleep is preset, and usually makes it a little bit shorter. It's not a great ability. I'll just put it that way. Anyway, this thing has Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, and Sunny Day. And that last move right there is the one I'm worried about, Sunny Day, because not only is that going to boost the fire damage of everybody in this fight while it's active, but it's also going to reduce my water damage, which I really need to take out all of these Pokemon. So we wanted to get rid of that one quick. It's not the only one with Sunny Day, though. There's another one that's coming later, and that one is crucial to watch out for. But next is, and speaking of the devil, there it is. It's Rapidash, the pure fire-type Pokemon with the ability Run Away. It has Flare Blitz, Solar Beam, Bounce, and Sunny Day, and I'm assuming it's going to try to charge up for a Solar Beam here. Indeed it is. Now, if this lands, I'm a goner, but it shouldn't because the Surf should knock it out first. But once we get rid of it again, we don't have to worry about Sunny Day being in play anymore, and then we should be able to just cruise through the remainder of this fight. And there it is! Awesome! I will take that, and that will push Triton to level 57. Not bad. Okay, next up is Magmortar, her signature Pokemon. I am again going to keep Triton out for this one. Magmortar is a pure fire-type Pokemon with the ability Flame Body, which gives you makes a chance of getting burned when hit with a physical attack, or a direct hit, I guess. It has Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Solar Beam, and Hyper Beam, and why it is using Flamethrower right now, I do not know, but I will take it, because that is much better than the alternative where it charges up a Solar Beam and I can't take it out in time. This thing is obviously holding a Citrus Berry. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I one-shot that too. Triton, you are carrying right now. This is incredible. But yeah, I was able to take that out. Oh, next up is going to be Flareon. Interesting. I'm actually going to switch to... Ooh, do I dare do this? No, I'll stay with Triton. Okay, Flareon is a Fire-type Pokemon, pure Fire-type, with the ability Flash Fire, which boosts the damage of its fire moves when hit by a fire move. It has Overheat, Giga Impact, Quick Attack, and Will-O-Wisp. Now, if you know anything about Flareon, you know that its physical defenses are quite pitiful, so Rock and Ground-type moves are really where it's at. Water-type is fine sometimes, but more often than not, I would go with the former. I was thinking about switching on over to Gong to hit it with the Earthquake, but I decided against it at the last second. Now, luckily, Burn does not affect special moves. It only affects physical moves. So we're still good to attack here, so let's continue. And take this guy out. All right. Not bad at all. Hurt by the burn. Yeah, we'll deal with that. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm just going to throw one more Surf out there because the less burn damage I deal with, the better. Now, this is going to hurt probably a lot more than anything else that we've been dealt. So this actually might knock Triton out. No! Wow! Not quite. Interesting. I was not expecting that at all. Okay, I would honestly stay with Triton here if Triton wasn't right on the cusp of fainting after this burn. Oh, or it did faint. I didn't think that was going to be enough damage, but it was. Okay, then let me switch on over to... Oh, I don't know if I like that. See, Gong is not very good either. Let me think about this. Yeah, I think I'll switch on over to Era just for now. That's fine. Anyway, last Pokemon is going to be Infernape, the fire and fighting type Pokemon with the ability Blaze. This thing has Flare Blitz, Thunder Punch, Mach Punch, and Earthquake. Now, that Thunder Punch is obviously going to hurt quite a bit, but instead it's going to use Flare Blitz for some reason. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that because it's just going to recoil damage itself, and it shouldn't knock Era out, but it will do a fair bit of damage. There we go. Hopefully enough that my Psychic can just finish this thing off, because remember, Infernape does not have very good defenses, and down it goes. And that is the end for Flint. Awesome. I love it when I'm giving experience to one of my lesser Pokemon. I don't believe it. I lost. I didn't take you for granted, but I didn't expect you to win. I'd never even considered it. I'm blown away by this. You and your Pokemon are hot stuff. Honestly, this is just an amazing conversation. I am completely captivated. Whew, burn right down to the cinders. That's all he has to say for us. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. Thank you all so very much for watching. In the next episode, I fully intend to beat the rest of this game. We are going to make it to the credits. We're going to take down the champion. It is time, everybody. But I obviously need to heal my team first, but I will finish doing this off screen. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.